History lost, decks past, but in this series, we revisit older decks to see if they can be brought back to the forefront of the meta. We'll break down what made these decks great, what no longer holds up, and how modern builds can give them new life. By exploring different variants and tech choices, we'll tune each deck to fit different playstyles. Let's see if these classics still have what it takes for meta teching. What's up, guys? My name is TechnoTuner, and today we're taking a look for our meta teching episode into Cyber Dragon, one of the most well-known rogue and infamous anime decks in the game. Next to Dark Magician and Blue Eyes, you will almost always hear that some people's favorite deck is Cyber Dragon. This deck offers up a lot, from power to consistency to interaction control. You have the capability of getting out bigger monsters and hitting harder than most other decks. Now, why is this deck considered rogue while also a silent sleeper in most formats? Well, that would be because Clockwork Knight and Cyber Dragon interaction being able to allow you to fuse away your opponent's monsters into Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon. While this deck is more than just fusioning away your opponent's monsters, you have the control aspects of Cyber Dragon Nova and into Infinity with the new card, the Mechanical Dawn. I'm not going to try to pronounce the first one. Being able to banish a face-up light machine monster you control, or 2 light machine monsters from your graveyard to negate the activation of a spell or trap your opponent is trying to activate. The other thing is it has a lot of recurability, a lot of capability to search other things by being able to go into rank 5, such as Infinite Track Riverstormer, giving you access to Therion King Regulus, giving you that extra negate and interaction. But they've also received some new support from Cyber Jormungandr to Cyber Dark Worm. While these cards are amazingly good for the archetype, being able to give you those lights and darks and being able to give you more additional machines to go into Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon, Cyber Twin Dragon, or Cyber End Dragon if you have the Cyber Dragons on board or graveyard to fuse away. You have the capability of doing this with Cyber Load Fusion, Power Bond, Overload Fusion, being able to get them out through using Cyber Dragon Core and Machine Duplication. You have the capabilities of being able to go much broader with this deck and being able to set up those control aspects, but also being able to come back on the next turn and punching for a lot harder. Sorry. This deck is infamous and it is still one of the most fun anime archetypes to play if you're especially looking to get into the game nowadays. While this deck does not do very well in the competitive scene, you do have to note that there are a few other ways that you can play this deck to give you that upper edge for that rogue aesthetic, but also giving you the full board capability of being able to go against opponents, not really worrying about their interactions, because you're going to either fuse them away next turn, you're going to swing over them next turn, or you're just going to come back with a bigger and badder board. For this, let's go ahead and take a look at 2 deck builds in which we're going to really take a little bit more of a deeper dive into to further see what's going on and how we can further improve these decks to the next level. So let's go ahead and hop right in to deck number 2. All right, for my Genesis enthusiasts, this is just a deck build I've came up with for Cyber Dragon K9. Now, please do note that if you are trying to run more of a K9 package to allow you to play further into this, I would recommend playing the 3 Azuna, the 2 Noroi, and the 1 Lupus. This way you have full board capability of going further into the K9 package, setting up more rank 5s, and further interactions. You can change your extra deck to however you see fit as well. But from this aspect, we are looking to just maintain the Genesis build in which we're going to set up a lot of rank 5s, a lot of good fusions, and interact with our opponent as much as possible, from being able to set up Chronomaly Vimana, Chronomaly Makchu Mech, or K9 Jax, or Hound, or Valen, the Super Size Sky Blaster. Being able to flip your opponent's monster face down as a quick effect, that can help out greatly as well. Being able to get a bigger monster each time your opponent activates a monster effect, being able to pop a card when it's summoned or when your opponent activates a card or effect in response, you can do a lot with this deck. The other thing is, Chronomaly Vimana is a monster negate, which can help out greatly. The other thing that I will state here is that we're playing 3 Galaxy Soldier, like how we did in our prior builds, where we're going to be sending one other light monster from our hand to the graveyard, special summon it. It's just a level 5 body we can get onto the board. We're also playing 3 Chaotic Elements, 1 Jokel, 2 Lantern. Why aren't we playing the Azuna and the other ones, you're probably asking? Well, it's because the points are a little bit more against us on this, since we're trying to maintain a more Cyber Dragon core aesthetic. So, if you wanted to cut back on the Infinity and the Nova, instead just run 1 copy of each, you could probably fit in a copy of Azuna and a copy of Lupus to give you that extra push. But the other thing that I will state here is with this, you're running a minimal package to be able to get your actual monsters back up and running. Jokel basically turning any kind of Cyber Dragon level 5 or any other level 5 in your hand, such as Trencher, Crab Crane, or Brutal Dozer, into their main summon ability to get you into your Infinite Track River Stormer. This way you can search up your Therian King Regulus or another Infinite Track to continue your plays. The other ones that you can do is, if you take Cyber Dragon and Jokel, you could go into Valen or Hound or Jax, because Jokel makes it to where you can't go into a light Xyz monster, but you do have the further capability of still utilizing it to getting them into the graveyard without using your normal summon. Being able to normal summon Core and then activate Machine Duplication to bring out 2 more Cyber Dragon can be a great play as well, because that gives you Cyber Dragon access, or Cyber Dragon Infinity access, but it also gives you the capability of, if you have Clockwork Knight up, to go into Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon, which can allow you to fuse away your opponent's board and being able to set up a bigger monster, which can further hurt them in the long run. We're also playing a few Cyber Dark cards here, so we can get our Power Bond to our hand and get into a few little goofy plays, such as being able to send a Cyber Dragon monster from our hand or deck to the graveyard, such as, if I remember correctly, Hurts. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add 1 other Cyber Dragon from your deck or graveyard to your hand. So being able to get that recursive to be able to get a recurable monster back into your hand can further help. The other card we're playing here that works with the Infinitrax is Outrigger Extension. Your opponent cannot target Machine Xyz monsters you control with card effects. Once per turn, you can target 1 Infinitrax Xyz monster you control, special summon from your extra deck 1 machine monster that is 2 ranks higher than that target, so you can run into the Infinitrax upper level echelon monsters as well, such as the rank 7, the rank 9, etc., by being able to use this card, which can further help you break your opponent's board, but also get bigger monsters out there as well to help you extend. Now, you're probably wondering, well, why are we running just K9 and Infinitrack? Well, to be fair, they are level 5s. They help you focus on the main core aesthetic, which is the rank 5 Xyz summoning, but they also play around different cards, such as being either your opponent trying to lock you into 1 attribute, or if they're going in and playing Magnet Warrior, right? Well, if they're playing Magnet Warrior, you have further cards you can go into. It doesn't have to be just Cyber Dragon Infinity. It can go into Hound, you can go into Vimana, you can go into Machumek. You can do burn damage with Machumek, which can help out greatly as well. You can go into Valen to flip that monster face down, turning that off. You have the capability of going a little bit wider in plays and further in extension. Now, the one card I would recommend cutting if you're playing this for Genesis is Mega Fleet, because that'll never come up. But you can still run another copy of Fortress Dragon or another Cyber Dragon fusion, such as Cyber Eternity Dragon. 1 Cyber Dragon monster plus 2 machine monsters. If you have a machine fusion monster in your graveyard, your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. Also cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects if this fusion summon card you control is sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card, you can special summon Cyber Dragon from your hand, deck, or graveyard. You can banish this card from your graveyard. This turn, your opponent cannot target fusion monsters you control with card effects. Also, they cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. So, if we do Power Bond into Cyber End Dragon, making him an 8k attacker with piercing, and we banish Cyber Eternity Dragon for the turn, they can't really do anything about that, which can help us out greatly. But that's basically all that I have for this first deck list. Let's go ahead and hop right on in to our third and final deck list. So, for those that love Pendulum but also love Cyber Dragon, boy do I have the deck for you. Dynamist Cyber Dragon can offer up a lot of capability, from rank 5 plays to being able to pendulum summon out a bunch of monsters to be able to use to go into your rank 5s, or machine bodies to go into your Fortress Dragon, while being able to also set up interactions, from being able to prevent your scales from being destroyed, being able to set up your scales during your opponent's turn, being able to get extra protection on your Dynamist monsters, being able to do 2 attacks or piercing damage. We have full capability with this deck of doing so much more. We're also running one Disablaster, the Negation Fortress, which allows you to negate any card effects activated in this card's column. So if you place it in the left or right, you can lock out your opponent's column from activating, since it's a pendulum effect. But the other thing is that if there is a column with no cards, you can special summon this card from your hand to your zone in that column. You can only special summon Diablaster or Disablaster. The Negation Fortress wants to return this way. Negate any card effects activating this card's column. If this card in the monster zone is destroyed, you can place this card in your pendulum zone. This card comes up a lot for K9 and Vanquish Soul as well as a side tech. But it also works very well because it's a light machine for Cyber Dragon. Being able to get you those further plays, to be able to further extend and go into those rank 5s can help you out a lot. But the other thing that we're playing is rank 4s, since we have Plesios, Petran, and Ankylos. Being able to get us further extension there, being able to search off of Terra to add a Dynamist card, such as Dynamist Charge. When this card is activated, add one Dynamist monster from your deck to your hand. Once per turn, if a Dynamist card or cards is added from the field to your extra deck face up, add one of those cards to your hand, so being able to give you some form of recurability. But the other thing that we're going to be focusing on here is being able to get those rank 5 plays through Nova, through Riverstormer, through Nash Knight into C104 Umbral Horror Masquerade, just so we have that interaction in prevention of our opponent's actual monsters on board. So this can help us get a little bit more protection and get some extra damage in. The other card that I will mention is Cyberload Fusion. Being able to shuffle the fusion materials into the deck from your face-up banish cards or from your field can help out a lot. So if your Cyber Dragons get banished, whether it be from Overload Fusion or by an opponent's card effect, such as Dimensional Fissure, you have capability of getting some recurability back in there as well. So that can help you go into the Fortress or the Cyber End Dragon, the Cyber Twin Dragon, the Mechanical Dawn, or Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon, depending on what you are trying to use. Being able to go for that OTK on the crackback can help a lot. But the other thing is turning your actual summons from just a once per turn special summon into, well, let me pendulum summon 5 monsters that can help me further extend and break board. That helps out a lot too. Or just being able to set up board. You can further edit this actual extra deck into it to where you can incorporate, I think it's the rank 4 boat that lets you go into a rank 10, so you can go into the trains as well. You can also just incorporate a little bit of Earth Machine in there. You can incorporate a few other fusions if you would like as well to further extend. It is endless with the amount of things that you can do with Cyber Dragon. Now, while Pendulum is still one of the more hated aspects of the Yu-Gi-Oh game entirely, Dynamis doesn't really feel unfair. It gives you the capability of OTKing, yes. It gives you the capability of getting for further damage and survivability and lowering your opponent's attack and all that, yes. But the thing is, it gives you an additional way to try this deck, especially for those that are looking to play on a budget or just use old cards around the house, apartment, wherever you live, to give you another way to play. We're looking to adventure into this and being able to bring it up to speed for something that we can do today. Now, do note that you don't have to play a Genesis format style. If you're wanting to use these Pendulum cards and go into a link spam with the Cleaforts, IP, SP, anything like that, this deck would allow you to do that because it spams out a decent amount of bodies, being able to go into 5 bodies if you have the capability. You can get into 3 or 4 monsters that can get you additional searches or summons. You have those accessibility points to further your plays and further breakboards and further setup as you can go. Especially with generic link 2s, generic link 3s, you can go beyond what this deck list is here. But anyways, that's all that I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.